Morning. It's, I don't know, Thursday, I think. Lost track of days, but today's very, I was gonna say special, but that's not a word. Today is a very exciting, special day. Today, we're going to Hogwarts. So excited. We're taking a break from the Roald Dahl stuff to go do some other geeky stuff, namely Hogwarts. So, we're going to the train. Sadly, not the Hogwarts Express, but I'm gonna pretend that it is, so see you there. A few minutes early for the tour, but look, I'm here. All right, let's show you properly. We're just hanging out in potions class. What is real life? Wash the pan. I think I'm gonna go chop some carrots. Yeah, it's just a relaxing day in the burrow. Using magic to do my everyday chores. This is the best. Coming to you now from the Ministry of Magic. I just stepped off the elevators. You can see we've got the lovely decor here in the Ministry. That's beautiful. messy in Goblet of Fire. And so our story begins.
Led by production designer Stuart Crane, these unsung artists created hundreds, if not thousands, of sketches, renderings, scale models, and even full-colour paintings that helped bring the world of Harry Potter to the visual life.
This is absolutely the coolest part of this whole thing. This is so cool. You guys have no idea. This is amazing. That was seriously the coolest thing ever. Let's see if I can do this before the battery dies. Harry Potter was amazing. If you are in London, absolutely go. It was totally worth everything. I was in there for about 3 hours, which I guess is kind of the average, although they did say some people make it through in half an hour, which I don't understand how, unless you're just like literally walking through and not looking at anything. And they did say that the record is 13 hours, which I could understand. If there was nobody there, I probably would have dallied a lot longer. But I also had the event tonight, so I was kind of not really rushing, but not really taking my time, if that makes sense. I saw everything I wanted to see, and it was fantastic. So you saw a bunch of the footage, but let me give you some tips if you are going to go yourself. Definitely book online. Definitely go earlier than you think. I took all public transportation, so I took the underground to, in my case, it was to Queen's Park, and from there, I transferred over to the overground, and it was totally easy. Just however you need to get to the overground, and then you take the overground to the end to Watford Junction. And from there are shuttle buses for £2.50. It's a round trip ticket, and the line seemed really big when I got there, but it goes down so quickly. You do need to have cash for the shuttle bus, and it goes a lot quicker if you have exact change, just an FYI. When you get there, you get your tickets. That went all smoothly too. When you go inside, if you like these kinds of geeky things, pick up one of these passport books. I didn't see the lady handing these out when I first went in. I was looking at everything else and missed these. So once I got inside, I saw everybody with these. There were like, not really stamp machines, but they were like embossing machines, and there's places in this, I know these are totally for kids, but I really like it. There's places in here to put the embossed whatever you're doing, and I would have really liked to have those to like glue them into my journal. And I was walking around thinking, oh, I'll just put them in my journal, but I had my journal in my backpack, which I had checked into the bag check, so I didn't get to use that, which was kind of sad. So I got this after the fact, after I'd gone through the whole thing and saw it and asked if they had any that were already stamped. She said to go to information because they sometimes keep them, and the guys there told me they're only for kids. As far as other tips, make sure you have a fully charged camera if you are one for taking pictures. There's lots of storage, memory space, because there are tons of things to see and do and take pictures of, and it was just wonderful. I did splurge to get the pictures and to get a video of me flying on a broom. I'll insert that here. It was so fun. It was just really cool. I had to get it. And so I did some shopping. I got a couple of chocolate frogs because I had to. And I got a Ravenclaw notebook. There. Ooh, look at that. Look, now you can see it. I also, my big splurge was the Lovegood Deathly Hallows necklace. It does spin. How pretty. Got the little jewel here. This was my splurge. It comes with this really nice, I'm trying to do things one-handed, display case, which I didn't expect, but that way when you're not wearing it, you have a pretty case to display it in. I think that's about it. Are there other tips I wanted to say? Yeah, definitely just take your time, go through, see everything that you want to see. Don't rush through it, enjoy it. All the sets and props are there that you want to see. It was just amazing. I do think, and this is my one true complaint, if you can even call it a complaint, I think Warner Brothers completely missed an opportunity for guests to write their name and throw it into the Goblet of Fire. That would have been a really cool exhibit, and I think pretty much everybody would have done it. I would have, for sure. So I think that's really all I have to say about the Harry Potter studio tour. It was unbelievably amazing. Everything I wanted and more. And they did a really good job. To come down in the dark by myself. I'm going to take you backwards the way that I came. was an experience. That is the only way I can put that. So they didn't allow pictures or video during the show. I did sneak a couple pictures, but only because everybody else was doing it and nobody said anything, so I snuck a couple pictures. I'll put those in while I'm talking, I guess. It was very different than anything I've been to. And it was for adults only, but it wasn't like adult content. It was just more dark and gruesome than some of the Roald Dahl stories. And I say some of because there's some of his kids' books that are still like borderline. But even still, like, I don't think there was anything in this show that was unsuitable for kids. It was just adults only because it provides a different atmosphere, I think, and also because of the amount of alcohol they were giving. So let me talk you through what happened. I got there super early, like almost an hour early, because I can't figure out these trains. They all take way less time than I think they're going to. So I was there almost an hour early, so I was led into the bar area and I had a, what did they call it? I don't remember the name of it, but essentially it was champagne and you had this little tube of hug-tight glue that was really just flavored syrup. So I went with the cherry one and you just drop it into your drink and you mix it around with the licorice root, and I didn't even finish it because I'm not a big drinker, but it was delicious. And yeah, I kind of just sat around for an hour. They had Wi-Fi, so I went online. That's what I do. And then we were let in for appetizers, canapes, and more cocktails. So in the garden area, as you walked in, they handed you a drink. I went for the virgin one, which was just, I don't even know what it was. Some sort of seltzer with some, I don't know, it was something bubbly with like mint and flavors. I'm really not a drinks expert, as you can tell. And then there were like, it was called like the stinging nettles or something like that. And so there were plants in it. It was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. It was a good drink. And then you had to forage for your appetizers. So you had to hunt around the room to find the different food. So there were some of the monkey clown people going around with some of it. So like one of the clown monkeys had chicken hearts, which I believe actually were chicken hearts, and I ate more than one. They weren't too bad. There was another one going around with burned sausage, which was just sausages in some really sweet, delicious sauce covered in black poppy seeds. Those were delicious. I kind of made my way to him multiple times. Another one was going around with fried pigeon. So I've eaten pigeon now, along with chicken hearts. And then there were other things that you had to forage for. So I think the only thing I didn't get to have was the quail's egg. There was like this compost heap in the corner. I'm motioning like you can see what I'm doing. There was in the corner of the room a compost heap, and it was like steaming and everything. And you had to dig around and there were quail eggs inside, as if they just left the eggs in the compost pile to cook. By the time I got over to that corner, people had eaten them all, so I did not get to eat that. But then there were like in the bird feeder, there was peanuts. There was this little tree with moldy cheese and some sort of meat. I had one little tiny piece and it was gross. I did not like it. Then scattered throughout there were a couple of tins of like pork scratchings. Inside this little shed workbench area there was, I don't even know what it was. They called it hug-tight glue soup, which gives me no indication, but essentially they were these little, they weren't really crackers and they weren't really cookies. They were some sort of carb, and you dipped it in this yellow glowing sauce. It didn't have much of a taste, so I really have no idea what I ate. And that was a funny thing, like walking around picking food out of places and just putting it in my mouth. I kept thinking they could totally be feeding us anything right now and we would all be eating it up, because most of us aren't even asking what we're eating. But it was definitely an experience. So after 20 minutes or so, our guest came in. I mean, not our guest, our host came in and welcomed us because they're the Twits. They aren't really very welcoming, and invited us to the ceremony to renew their vows. And so we made our way into the dining room and we all sat at tables with different gross names. So I was at like pickled eggs, there was stinky feet, there was, I don't remember the other ones, but all these different things. And so we had dinner and a show, and we had bird pie with the little feet sticking up. That was really the only weird thing. That we had potatoes with dirt, which was just some different seasonings. There was a salad. There was like a coleslaw thing. There were also like little mealworms, dried mealworms in the salt and in some of the salads and stuff. So that was the other disgusting factor. And then dessert, I don't even know what that was. There was a lot of words to describe that dessert. There was like a lady fingers in a lime something with a lemon something. And then there were these little teeny tiny gray dots at the top, and then there was a pudding on top, and then there was strawberry powder with slivered almonds and rose petals. It was bizarre. There was a lot happening in that dish, but it was delicious. The rest of the food, it was good, but I don't know, there was some spice or seasoning palette that I am not used to, and so I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. Still ate everything. It was still good. I'm not gonna say it wasn't. But the entertainment was really fun. So minor spoilers. Actually, no, they're not that minor. Spoilers for the Twits coming up right now, but I don't feel bad about this. So in the original doll story, the Twits are just horrible, nasty people, and they have some monkeys that they keep and force to do tricks and stuff for their circus. The monkeys get fed up. They enlist the help of the roly-poly bird, who flies them all to safety, and ultimately they wind up leading to the demise of the Twits. I'm not gonna give too many details. They don't cause the death per se. Yeah, they kind of do. You know, it's not a straight out murder, but they're responsible. So in our show tonight, it's kind of an alternate history for the book. So instead of the Twits dying at the end of the book, they live, and since they have no more monkeys, they kidnap and force humans to be their monkeys and dress them in monkey costumes and all that kind of thing. And so in the course of our show, the monkey people are revolting and want to escape and trying to get home, so they keep trying to give us messages and things like that. And ultimately it leads to the roly-poly bird coming back, and ultimately we get to the same ending as the book, sort of, with a little twist. This was a really fun night. Very out of my comfort zone. Walking into the place, I was like, wow, I am not cool enough, hip enough for this place. It was in a place called the Vaults, and to get there out of the train station, you had to walk down the street, and then you walk down this creepy set of stairs, and you turn down this creepy alley that is just literally covered every single inch in graffiti. And ultimately it's really pretty, but when you're by yourself in the dark, it's a little bit creepy, but I found the place fine. But yeah, the whole place, it's called the Vaults, and I don't know what it's normally used for, but it's right near the train tracks, so a couple times we heard trains going by, and it's all like exposed brick. It's kind of run down and shabby. All the chairs and tables are mismatching. There's like panels of fake wallpaper hanging up, and again, I don't know how much of it was for the Twits and how much of it is actually the Vaults. But the main dining room was just this big tunnel, almost like it either was a true vault, like a bank vault or something, or almost like it was a train tunnel at one point. Just that big round empty brick area. So it was a really cool place. Totally felt out of place in my nice shirt and skirt. But when I realized I didn't know what to wear, I looked it up and it said to wear your doll finery. And so I thought that meant get kind of dressy. This was overdressed. A lot of people were in jeans, yoga pants, regular clothes. So, but yeah, it was definitely a cool experience. I'm really glad that I came and did this. Yeah, it was an interactive thing, so like the characters were just walking around, coming up to you. At one point, the monkey guy who was trying to escape came over and sat down. He's like, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. I'm like, what am I picking up? He had dropped a little piece of paper next to me on the bench, and he's like, it's my mom's phone number, call her, let her know I'm here, just get my mommy, get my mom. And then he like scurries off to the next thing. Mrs. Twit came around at one point with a cup, and she's like, I want to get my husband back for the prank he just played on me, so everybody put something gross into this cup. One of my table mates spat in the cup, I put my chicken foot in the cup, and then the husband drank it. And so that was kind of the show. They were just making pranks on each other back and forth with this loose storyline of a wedding and the monkey slave people, and it was really fun night, really different and interesting. And if you are in London and you like Roald Dahl, you like the Twits, or you just want an interesting theater experience, definitely check it out. I think it's open until October 4th. It's not cheap, but it was definitely worth it for the cool experience. The whole thing lasted about 2 hours. They said an hour and a half, but it wasn't. It went definitely longer. Although I think we started a little bit late too, so that might have had some effect on it. I think that's all I have for you today. This has been a long day and a really cool day. We had Harry Potter this morning, which feels like it was 3 days ago. I had the dinner at the Twits tonight, which was really fun. Both were my favorite things. Actually, my ultimate favorite moment was absolutely coming through the doors to see the model Hogwarts, which like I knew it was coming. I knew it was a thing that existed. I've seen pictures of it. I knew I was about to go into it because leading up to it, it's this whole hallway of models, paper models and things. So I knew it was coming, but the doors opened and the music swelled and Hogwarts was there, and it was gorgeous, and not gonna lie, I got kind of teary. It was a magical event, magical day. So let me know down in the comments what your favorite thing of the day was. I would love to hear from you. Let me know if you've done either of these things, because they're so much fun and I love to talk about them with somebody. I hope you have a Wondercrump night, day, whatever this is, and I will talk to you later. Bye.